right, welcome back to the Black Fatherhood Legacy. My name is Jay Cortez Thomas, and this is
Dwayne. Welcome back, everybody.
Yes. Let's get back into it. So
Let's do it.
Last episode, of course, we're talking about manhood and the stereotypes, but today we're going to use those same stereotypes and talk about how in our day, 2022, us being 30 somethings, how things are evolving or changing as far as addressing those stereotypes of men and especially black men. So, number one,
let's go.
Self-sufficiency. So like in the last time we talked about taking the credit, you know, pumping your chest.
Yeah,
it's all me.
Saying it with your chest.
I did it. I didn't need nobody. I did it all by myself. When really everybody and their mama helped you. But that is the stereotype which we're trying to kind of evolve from. Are we evolving, and how? How are we evolving?
I think that's a double-sided sword there. I can say we are evolving, but at the same time, we're taking a few steps back. I say we're evolving because nowadays you're seeing men give more credit. They're becoming more humble. Like we talked about last time, we used Steph Curry as a good example. He's humble. That's the only way to put it. He's giving credit to everyone else. So I think that's the transition we're becoming now. Men are becoming more aware and becoming more humble and understanding that it does take more than one to plant this tree and watch it grow.
Right.
But I think we also get pulled back into that I am me or woe is me because that credit's still there as that man. In your manhood, you still underlying I did it. But it's that battle from trying to progress from just me to we did it.
Yeah, and I mean, you get a lot of credit today for, because social media.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Social media is what I think is the culprit because the like, right? The like.
That like button, it holds so much weight.
Yeah, the like. They like me. I did this. They like me. And so it's that drive to get another like. And when you can take the credit, so there's so many gurus today, so many people that health guru that could tell you. And this guy, this is a dude in the basement, right?
Everybody's
with a camera.
Influencer.
Everybody's an influencer. Everybody is a guru. Everybody knows, right? And it's like, I'm going to show you how to get money. I'm going to show you how to make $1 million. But really, that dude probably don't have $100 in his bank account. And it's like, but the wins he gets, right? For taking the credit, like, I can show you, I know, I have all the answers. I have all of this. And like, nobody has all the answers. Like,
right.
Nobody, like, we're all just trying to make it, trying to learn, trying to grow. And taking the credit is something that still is ever present in our society, especially because of social media. But I feel like this. I feel like in the circles that matter, so social media doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, let's just get that out of the way. Like, your status on social media when you on your deathbed does not matter.
You won't have
right? Your blue check doesn't matter, right? The things that matter, the circles that matter, I think that self-sufficiency in those circles means absolutely nothing.
Right.
And in those circles, like when Steph Curry's in the locker room, when Draymond's in the locker room, and you're in that huddle and you're looking at those 12, 13, 14 men, they care about the fact that we're in this together.
That we did this.
We're doing this, that's what matters. Now, the media can spin it and do how is this affecting Steph Curry's legacy? He won another championship. If he wins another championship, then if he ain't gonna win nothing. Like, if he doesn't have a team,
if he don't have his support, there's no Steph. There is no Steph Curry.
He's not going anywhere. Right. So, in the circles that matter, that doesn't matter. So, being self-sufficient and saying I did this and I did that, at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. Now, what you contribute to an overall effort,
yes,
matters. you know, like in the sense that he was the most important player.
Mm-hmm.
He had the most important shots down the stretch. He was the catalyst, right? So yes, but you still don't do it by yourself. And this whole by myself mentality, I think in the circles that matter today, it doesn't matter. Like that whole facade doesn't matter.
Yeah, because like you said, social media has put so much on that like and that gratitude that you get from those certain amount of likes. It takes away from real life to which everything you start doing is for those likes. So it continues to, oh, I did this, I did that. But when you're able to step away, like you said, to those circles that matter, those close circles, you don't need any of that because, like they always said, what's already understood don't have to be explained.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't need that gratitude. You don't need that facade that everyone, because half the people that like something, they just on there scrolling, click, click, click. They don't know what even know what's going on. So it don't even, so how much of it matters at the end of the day?
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's the people who are closest to you know that it wasn't just you.
Exactly.
The people who are scrolling and they hit that like button, they don't know that it wasn't you. And that is why it's still prevalent today, is because they have a platform to give, hey, look at me. I did this all by myself. I did it my way. Which is so fake because, I mean, everything I've ever accomplished ever in my life is because, and this is why I think because of the close circles, it's changing in that space, because we used to, even in that space, celebrate that person, but that person's not celebrated in those circles.
Right.
Like, especially when, bruh, I used to help you, I used to pick you up, take you over, like, you did not do this on your own. And so I really feel like it's kind of going out the window, but the only thing that's keeping it around is social media and is the media.
It's always the media aspect of it. It's the difference between real and perception.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it moves into that whole acting tough.
Exactly.
So that was number 2 on the list from the last episode. And so acting tough, I think, is also the same thing. The people closest to you,
they know who you really are.
They know
who you really are. They know when you're out and you're really acting.
They know you're acting.
They look you in side eye like, well, come on.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, like, bro, like that dude in your neighborhood, man, I used to slap him.
Bro, I beat you up every day after school. Like, come on, if that's what it used to be, accepted for what it was. You don't have to. And I think that's where the acting tough is changing now, because we're becoming a lot more comfortable in ourselves. And like you said, around the age of 30, mid-30s, somewhere in there, you're honing on who you are. So that acting tough or whatever facade you had, that's what it ended up being.
Well, I'd say this is why, see, music, television, people try to act like it's just entertainment, but it does help sway the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so when you see a person like Jay-Z, who was once this drug dealer, street thug, rapping about this, that, and the other. Now he's married, has children, has successful businesses. He is now looked at upon totally different today than he was 20 years ago.
Right.
And so those same people, though, some of the same young people that are looking up to these guys are seeing them in this role. And now this role is not the talking tough and being tough role. Mm-hmm. This is the talking business and being business minded and handling your stuff and being a father and being a husband.
Right.
And so I think because in Black culture, it's becoming more accepted to be that.
Yes.
Then I think that everybody is striving for that as opposed to the acting tough guy.
Yeah, because now we can see that Black culture is, in a sense, transitioning from just being that gangster or that hood guy persona, whatever the case. It's turning into, let's become a mogul. Let's own businesses. Let's get property. Let's do this and let's do that. Now that's becoming the quote unquote trend and becoming what's cool. And that's what that's what we needed. That's where that progress comes from.
That's what we desperately needed.
Everyone that you're looking up to, you need to be able to see something positive, whether it's directly at home or when you turn on the radio or the TV. Like, you know what Jay-Z raps about also, but when you look down into it and get really into what he's telling you and teaching you.
Well, see, that's the difference. We live in a social media age.
Exactly.
So everything is seen. There's no more like that personality on television is bigger than life. No, you get to see that person under a microscope.
Yes.
So no longer can somebody, like you said, talk tough, act tough. Somebody's from their past is going to come up.
They're going to see, especially nowadays.
Yeah,
you
nowadays
can't do that.
somebody going to tweet something, and the next thing you know, it's over. And so, even with the whole changing of the narrative in our society because of these guys like Jay-Z and their progression and all this, honestly, I think it's that, but it also coupled with the fact that the tough guy loses.
When you realize it.
Now, the stories we tell today, we used to glorify the tough guy. Like the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad.
Look at me, the bad guy.
The bad
guy. You'll never see a bad guy like this ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we used to glorify the bad guy. Now you look at the movies and stuff today, it's like Thanos is the bad guy. He don't win.
Yeah, how short-lived is his victory?
Yeah, and so you see so many of, even in society today, because even like in music and movies and all these different things, you see the downfall of these actors and actresses and these people who give into that, right? They don't win.
Yeah, no.
And so now you're seeing people like, I want to win.
Yeah, you try to taking losses and you see the opposite, you're going to do it.
I want to win. Like, I remember one guy told me one time, he's like, in the inner city, like there was, we have what we have going on in the inner city a lot of time because the drug dealer is all the kids see, right? With the nice car and the nice jewelry and this, that, and the other. It's about what you see. It's perception.
Right.
And so that's winning to them.
Yeah.
So that's the occupation that they go for because they see him winning.
They've already seen the benefits from it.
Right. And so now if you're seeing people win in different ways, it gives you a different outlook as to what winning really is. And so you got guys coming from where they came from who maybe did dabble in selling, doing whatever, but now they're not doing that. They're being entrepreneurs or doing this and the other. It's giving hope to a young boy or girl, like seeing, wait, there's a different route.
There's not one way. I don't have to just do this. I see all this other things and other people doing positive things. I can do this too.
Yeah. And I think that acting tough thing is it's going out the door. Because even the toughest guys, man, the toughest guys are being vulnerable. I remember DMX right before he passed. He did a lot of like really in-depth interviews and stuff, and you got to see that the whole tough guy thing he was tough.
Yeah, he was, but you got to get in touch with him a little bit. Yeah, see what he went through. He had reason.
And when we talked about the cover up, right? We talked about the emotional cover up. He was the epitome of the emotional cover up, right? He had those issues with his mom and being in those like I want to call them boarding schools. It was like almost like a detention centers.
Yeah, group home type things. Yeah.
And so that made him what he is. And but in that vulnerability showed the tough guy is not so tough. He really is hurt.
Like you said, he's hurting. Deep down inside, that tough guy we all see the one. He's tough. He's super tough. Yeah, he's fought everybody. He's done this and that. Yeah, he can. Yeah, but he has to. It's not the choice he's making.
Right.
At this point, he has to.
It's a protective mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. He's covering what's deep down hurting himself.
like I used to run up on dudes in like so different neighborhoods. You got to watch it because like so like you see it, you see another black man, you just like, hey, black man, what's up?
You trying to
you know what's up? And so like my family's from the South, and it's a little different in the South. Like there's like neighborhoods and different things, same thing, but you have that Southern hospitality. Like you see another black man, you
right?
Just, hey, what's up? It's not like out here in LA. It's like, what's up? And it's like, what's up?
What's up? Like I'm saying, I'm greeting you, but you took it at me like it's a problem.
Yeah,
like my bad.
What do you mean? What's up? Like no, what's
I was
up?
just saying, how you doing? Like what's it? Yeah.
Like what's? I just said what's up. You know what I mean? And it's like, but it's a defense mechanism. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm always on the defense.
Right.
Right. I can't because the feeling of, hey, that's another black man. I need to acknowledge him. I need to say, hey, man, how you doing? That takes feelings.
Yeah. It takes some opening up.
I'm not tapped into those feelings. So the only
I'd rather
feeling
show this hardness.
The only
show
feeling I know is aggression. Mm-hmm. And you looking at me wrong, bro. And I'm like,
what's the problem? Exactly.
What's up?
Yeah.
The sky.
But why? Exactly. The sky is you see the birds there.
Right.
Man, like, come on.
And so I think, like I said, I think that whole thing, even though there's still places for it, I think it still goes on. But in the mass acceptance of it being like a male thing, like a male trait, and like you're not a man unless you're tough.
Right. It's falling toward the back in that aspect now.
That's gone. So we talked about the swag. It's funny to me because I don't know, like swagger is so false. The people with the most swag that I've ever seen were the realest. Like that's just them. That's how they get down.
That's just who they are.
And the funny people to me is the ones that are trying way too hard. And we all know who they are, celebrities or just regular people. We've all had them in our crew. Mm-hmm. We've all had them in our...
You always have a couple.
And it's that dude that walk in the room, it's like, you doing way...
It don't take all that. You trying to get all the attention, pull it all in on you. Like, it's all right, man. Like, it's cool.
And I'm like, okay, bro. All right. Be the varsity version of you. Don't try to be the JV version of somebody.
Exactly.
Else. And my wife knows this because when she met me when I was young, I was different back then. But
right.
I was with every trend. Like when Usher had the button ups and I was with the button ups, and when so and so was with this, I had that, and
it was rolling with the punch.
But that was my swagger, right? But I was swagging off somebody else's.
It wasn't yours.
Yeah, and so like when I became my own, it was when I was like, I just like this shirt. I just like these shoes. I just like this. I just like that. I just like walking like this. I like talking like this.
Right.
I like doing like this. And then because it was me, whatever swagger that you think I have is me.
Yeah, that's me. It has to be the definition of you. It always say the man makes the clothes don't make the man. Mm-hmm. You gotta literally live by that because it's not what you're putting on or whatever. I mean, you can go shop at a thrift store, the Goodwill, whatever, and find a regular shirt and that be it. But it's who's inside the shirt.
Right.
You can find a $2 shirt and make it look like $1 million, or find $1,000 t-shirt and it still look like you got it from Walmart.
Yeah,
There's different ways. It's like
the real dude, a real swagger can take whatever he got and make it
make it look like $1 million. You can go get an outfit from over here and it's like, oh yeah, it looked like I got it from Ralph Lauren or from wherever the case may be, but no, I didn't.
No,
I just make it look this way. I just look this way
because that's me.
Yeah, it's a part of who I am.
I'm trying to think. Andre 3000.
Yeah.
I don't dress like Andre 3000. I would never dress like Andre 3000. However, Andre 3000 walks in the room dressed the way Andre 3000 dresses.
It looks crazy.
For him, swag.
Yeah, that's dope. That's amazing. Like, I couldn't pull it off. I wouldn't try, but bro, I give it to you.
But that's
him.
Person being themselves and having real swag because that's just who they are.
Yes.
And so it's a huge difference. And I think, like I said, perpetuated by social media, perpetuated by the media too much to where, gosh, like people are trying to buy these Gucci bags.
Man, perception versus reality.
And like, dude, you're going broke trying to buy some J's and like, man, just go to Ross.
Buy some shoes. Get you some nice, comfortable shoes. It don't have to be. When you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Yeah. It's okay. Like,
go to these bargain stores, man. They got the same stuff, man. Like,
you'll be all right.
You'll be all right, man. It's not. I don't know, man. I wish I could go tell my young self, like,
it's all right.
It's all right, bro. Like, you don't have to. Like, you're good. Like, no, really.
Yeah, none of this defines you.
None of it.
When you get to that point and realize that it's not a part of your definition of manhood, it's a different level.
It's a and the comfort, it's free.
It's a peace of mind.
It's so free. Like it's free just being you. Like you don't have to. Like I don't get like so right now. What are these New Balances? I would have never put on some New Balances back in the day. But these things is comfortable, bro.
Man, like my wife, she'll get on me. Oh, you wear sweats and all. That's all you do. I'm like, I'm comfortable. This is me. I don't have to impress them. I'm not trying to.
No.
I could walk out the house in a hat, t-shirt, my sweats and some slides and be perfectly fine.
Totally.
I don't need to have, no, it's cool. Can I go get it? Possibly, yes, whatever the case. But do I need it? Is that me? That's not me.
No. And then, and just having it's all perception, man. It's like your car, the kind of car you drive, the kind of clothes you have, the kind of jewelry, man, that stuff don't mean nothing. Like, as a car takes you from point A to point B. Is it comfortable? Yes. Does it have the amenities you like? Yes. I drive a Kia. I drove 2 Kias back to back. I love Kia. Why? 100,000 mile warranty.
Yeah. Right there.
100,000 mile warranty. That is, now they got I think you can extend it to 200,000.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to stay with Hyundai Kia. It's comfortable. It does what I need to do. It gets me from point A to point B. Do I need a Mercedes-Benz? No, I don't need a Mercedes-Benz. Are they nice? Yes, they look nice. But I learned the gas that I put into that car is the same gas I put into that car. I'm going to go home in a metal box and that other metal box.
Yes, sir.
It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't get it. And I used to get it. And maybe because we get older and we just get out of touch.
I don't know. Are we falling out of touch? I don't know if I'm out of touch or am I coming into a different realization? I don't know what it is.
None of that stuff matters, man. And the fanfare or the respect that you think you're getting from it.
If that's what you're going after, yeah.
It's not real. Those people are only following you because you're driving a Benz. They're only with you because you got the money. They only do this because you got that. But as soon as that goes out the window, where are they at? And
Gone in the wind.
That's why it don't matter. Like, none of that stuff. You're trying to impress people. Try to impress you and God.
Exactly.
Forget everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, man.
It's the one in above and the one in the mirror.
That's it. That's it. And like, so like the whole, we talked about the gender roles, and you had a good point about women working in the home. That was real hard work. Now it's a different way they're working, but they're still working. And people say the gender roles have changed. I think they have, if you let them, to the extent that people are talking about. I think it's the extent. I don't think it's what you were talking about as far as like just working and changing the work. There are men who, and I don't want to offend anybody, but right now we have men who are stay-at-home dads.
It sounds weird to say, huh?
And while the wife is out getting the bread, and I'm not going to. I'm not. I'll be careful. This is nationwide. I don't get it. And I think that I feel like, and this is just coming from me, this is not representative of the organization or you or anybody else, but I feel like that's taking it too far. I think that, yes, women going into roles of work is fine because they were already working, like you said, just in the home, and now they're working outside the home. But I don't feel like we should get to a point where men stop wearing the pants completely. Like, I'm saying, like, okay,
I don't know. I agree. I'm not in no disagreement
because of the fact that you have children, and gender roles in that sense in the home are needed for structure.
Definitely.
Right. And so how you structure it in your house may look different, but the pieces, the puzzle pieces are pretty much the same. Right. And so, like, I always go, like, everybody's house is different. How they run their house is different. You may work more than your wife may work more than you. She may make more money than you may make more money than her. That, to me, that's not a deal breaker.
Right.
Like, a woman can make more money. That's fine. Like, that's not a deal breaker. My thing of the deal breaker is the social hierarchy of how things are done in the home, as far as the children, decisions, all those type of things. Those need to be done in the same structure, and understanding whose role is what, because you're raising children in that environment. And so
totally,
you have to, like, hey, mom's a nurturer. That's a given. Like, that's her God-given ability. Dad is this. That's his ability. And so in those abilities that we have to be like, look, because I always say this, like, people, I'm not a feminist, nor am I on the opposite side. I'm not either one. I look at it like this: women can do things that men can't do, and men can do things that women can't do.
Right.
That is okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I think this whole, I can do what you can do. No, let's celebrate what you can do, and you celebrate what I can do, so that we can fill each other's holes and gaps and make this thing work. And I think that is a right gender role household, in the sense of, I may do the laundry as a man. Doesn't make me feminine that I'm doing laundry. I'm filling in the gap
where it's needed.
But I'm not at home all day only folding clothes and not doing anything. Like,
that's where I completely, the gender roles are. I mean, that's where that creates a true gray area for me. Because, I mean, simply me as a man, I completely agree with my wife wanting to work and do what she does outside the house and whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to sit at home and not do nothing.
Yes.
Regardless if I am at home with the kid. But, like, it's just, I don't know.
I said yes so hard I hit the mic.
I mean, but, like, I just can't, because me and the way I define myself as a man in my own quote unquote manhood, it won't allow me to do such a thing. So I agree and do have that disparity with those men who do that today. But I mean, it's 2022, to each his own, but I couldn't do that because it's just not, it's not healthy. Like you said, in trying to raise your kids, see that, like, what are you trying to teach them as their father when you're at home doing whatever you're doing and mom's out busting tail, giving it all that she can give, and then when she comes home, she's still doing everything else, but you sitting at home watching baseball, football, chilling on feet up on the couch all day. Just because you have the ability to do so don't make it right.
Right. And I think that's today is a lot of where we did have that hyper masculinity when it came to gender roles back in the day. We kind of took it too far the other direction.
We're taking advantage of it now.
Where it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's too overbearing. And it was. Yeah. I mean, it was very archaic in a sense. Some of it's needed. But but I get where they were saying some of it is archaic because it's based on the time. Like,
right. And that's what I was saying. In times of change or progress happens. But
the income level of what a house needs a lot of time a woman has to work. It's not because the man wants that. It's because this is
It's
just
a
how it's just
necessity of
how
the
things
moment,
are,
right?
so you're adapting to your environment, not well that didn't work in the 50s, so now we're going to do this. No,
Yeah, it wasn't that.
that's not what it is.
No.
And so, but I feel like men and women took it too far the other direction. I think this one we need to reel back. So like
Yeah, we gotta
this
pull it
one,
back and we gotta create a common ground. Like we can do it together.
yes,
We created a union. That's what it's two coming together. It's we can do
it's
it
not.
together.
And once back to the thing, I did it myself.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I can help you fill the gaps, but the gaps I can't help you fill are the ones that you are made for. You're designed for.
Yes.
I'm designed to do this, this, and this. These are my traits. These are my God-given abilities. You have sometimes in a relationship where the man is better at finances. Sometimes a woman is better at finances. So sometimes that woman needs to do the finances. Sometimes a man needs to do the finances. Those are your strengths. So you're just feeding off each other's strengths and weaknesses, and filling in the gaps. That is more of a holistic gender role in today's society than what I've seen kind of morphing into, and then what we've seen in the past.
Yes.
I think we think about it too much as opposed to just doing
just
it.
to allow it to happen.
Yeah, it's like it's organic. Like it's supposed to, like you said, it's a union. So you guys are doing it together. And I think this whole agenda of I can do it, you can do it, you can do it, I can do it, and blah blah blah, and this person can do, like, no, you're good at math.
You're like, you're really good at this, and I'm really good at this. So I'm going to be good at this. You're going to be good at this. We're going to get together, and we're going to be great at this together.
Exactly. So we just I know we keep going back to sports, but it's the easiest way to do this. Like the Warriors just won a championship, but everybody on the team had a role.
Yeah.
Like you need to be in this corner because your corner three is ridiculous, and when I see your percentage is like 50%. I get you get to that corner, boom, you hit the shot. You're not trying to dribble too much. You're not trying to come off picks. You're not doing it because you're doing your part. And I think that's, if we look at it in the gender roles, is doing your part.
It would be a lot different.
It'll be a lot different. It'll be easier conversation than we have today. That it's so confusing, and I don't know why it's that confusing.
I don't realize why gender roles would be confusing as is. I mean, it's straight to the point.
It is
it's teamwork.
It's teamwork. Just fill the gaps.
Yeah, like wherever you lack, I feel. Wherever I lack, you feel.
Yeah, and understand that there's just things that you're going to be able to do that I can't do, and I can do, you can't do, and we're good.
It's okay.
Like that's totally good. Like I understand. Clay understands he can't shoot off the dribble as well as Steph. Steph understands that Clay's a better catch and shoot guy.
I was about to say, yep.
It just is what it is. And if you do it together and you make it work, you win a championship. If not, you be not making the playoffs.
You on the beach somewhere.
Yeah. You catching fish.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know why we always go to sports, but it's just
because it's relatable and it's a part of it.
Yeah, it's in us. As black men, we always go. We go to the barbershop. Every conversation goes right back to sports.
No matter what, you're gonna end up in politics and sports.
Yeah. It is what it is, or hip hop. But
there it is.
Rich, the hypersexuality thing. Okay, so we'll end with that one. In today, I think, like I said, I said this on the last one, but was like, don't turn down nothing but your call is kind of fading. And it's fading because what I was saying earlier with the whole like Jay-Z.
This is what we're seeing.
People seeing healthy black marriages and children, and like seeing that actually happen and it being a possibility because we never saw that in the media. Like I remember my favorite movie, and then people that know me close to me know me, that my favorite movie of all time is a movie called Boomerang. And the reason why I love Boomerang so much, and people don't understand why I love that movie so much, was not because of all the extra stuff that was in the movie. I like the fact I'm in marketing today. I own a digital marketing company because Marcus Graham was a marketing guy, head of marketing for his company. He dressed nice. His apartment was like beautiful. He had all of these things that I saw in a black man on television.
Right.
that I was like, I could be that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's why I say positive Black imagery is so important, especially with Black men, because these young Black males are watching us
deeply.
And so, like when I said on the last podcast about these brothers got to stop at these music videos, these girls shaking it and doing all this stuff, like, come on, man, like grow up. People are watching and you're raising a generation off of whatever content that you're putting out into the media space. And so even this, like what we're doing right now, that's why these conversations are needed.
They're necessary.
Because some young kid is going to hear this and they are hearing something different than they may be seeing on television. Yeah. Boomerang, what it did for me is what the marriages, healthy relationships, and all these different things that kids are seeing on TV today are doing for them in this generation, to see that sleeping around, having a bunch of kids, doing all this stuff out of wedlock ain't the thing.
Right. And it's crazy because now, like you said, Black love is being more praised. It's becoming more of a norm. You're having more relationships, more couples lasting longer, having kids and thriving throughout life. Growing up and even before us, you weren't getting that. No. Like we can go back to the stereotype of Papa was a Rolling Stone, or you have kids and you're a deadbeat dad, or you just do this and that. But we're now transitioning away from that stereotype, and that we're seeing the lovely couples. We're seeing the Black men who are really happy with their spouses and aren't afraid to say it. Like, you didn't get all that then, but now we are. It's the progression that we're making. So it is a lot different.
And the Black love, like that's why I love to see that. I love to see that positive Black, whatever it is. Yeah, I love to see that positive Black imagery, because it matters. Like people don't think that it matters, but I'm a product of understanding that how much it matters.
Exactly.
I was a rapper because I saw rappers and I wanted to be a rapper. You wanted to see that. I ended up almost having a rap career because I saw that. I have a career in marketing because I saw that. Like a lot of the other things in my life, other than those two things, were influenced by my parents, my dad and my mom.
Into you, yeah.
But outside of that, there's still a space in media and different places that you get influence. And regardless of how we are as parents and how much we want to like coddle our kids, at some point they're going to see that. So you want them to have an outlet to see things that are positive versus negative. And even doing this podcast, how we even got here was based on me. Like I was actually doing a fatherhood podcast.
Yeah, that's part I was doing. Yeah.
And so I did it because I felt like this conversation right now needs to be heard by some kid that was me. Like, how am I going to give back to the me's that are 10, 12, 15 years old?
How can I make it sure now in today's day that it will be heard and be effective?
Yeah, and not only just my son, but my sons. Like, we have, as Black men, as Black fathers in our communities, we have influence. We have people that are watching us.
Yes.
And so it's not just our physical blood sons, but we have other sons that we need to influence in that positive manner. They need to see us loving and kissing on our wives. They need to see us taking our children to the park. They need to see all of those things, because those things matter. They matter a lot.
Seeing that positivity can change, like you said, change a person's life. Like, you can see this guy with his kids every day, taking care of them, loving his wife and doing this, or you can go see this one over here, and he got this one coming in and out the house and this one and that. That's tell of two different worlds. Now, if you get the latter where you see the loving wife, that's what you believe in, that's what you know, and that's what you're coming to expect for yourself. So to be able to give that and be part of that, you have to. Like, we as men have to change and understand the influence that we have. Like you said, not only on our kids and our children ourselves, but those around them, their friends, their cousins, whoever comes around, we play a different role. And now we make the choice whether that's going to be positive or negative.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just living life. Like, when it's not like we're doing anything.
You're not doing nothing.
But we're being intentional. It's being intentional. Like, sometimes we intentionally do things so people see us or people understand. Like, a lot of time we hide the things that we need to be shown and we show the things that need to be hidden. Like we need to show the things that we're hiding, not to say that we're shameful of it, because these things that we're proud of.
Right.
But it's like we can't keep it in a box because there are people that need to see that positive Black imagery, these positive Black families, because there is the opposite. Like when I started the podcast in 2020 and I was talking about this, the whole thing that even sprung it up. The reason why I saw a statistic, and basically it was 78% of Black homes didn't have a father. That was taken. It was like a census taken, I think it was like the year 2002 or something like that, somewhere around 2005, somewhere around there. No, it had to be closer to 2008, 2009, because I looked at the statistic and it was like within a 10, 12 year period.
Right.
The statistic went from 78% to 62%.
Okay.
So it was positive growth,
right,
in Black men being in the home. And then I started to look around. But then that's when I started seeing what we're talking about today, where you're seeing positive Black imagery now. You're seeing these men and their wives and the kids and all of that stuff. And that's no coincidence that in the last 10, 12 years that has increased. And all of a sudden that statistic,
the numbers drop. Yeah.
The numbers drop. That's not coincidence. That's for real. Like, and it was like, okay, how do I make this number drop faster? I don't want 62 to go to 12. Because
62, exactly. It's still high.
Right. I want 62 to be 12, but it's like, okay, pump the airwaves with Black positive energy.
Yes. That's the only way.
Into Black men, into Black fathers, Black sons, whoever, you know, making sure that they at least know there's an option. Because once again, it goes back to what my boy said about options. With what they see in the hood, they do, because they only see all they see is that person winning, and they're winning doing something that's negative, but they don't know that. They just see they're winning. It's
a win, no matter how it comes out.
And so when they see wins and it's positive, what else so that's what I'm saying. The more positive wins that they can see on a day-to-day, it gives people hope.
Oh yeah, definitely more hope. It changes, like you said, changes outcomes, changes lives. That hope is something that they'll hold on to until they're of age, and then realize that, oh, I had that one positive figure, or I had those positive figures that got me through those tough times. Yes, I grew up in the same neighborhood, but because of this or that, I saw differently. Now it's my turn.
Right.
How can I make a difference? And it continues that cycle. And then that cycle continues, those numbers will drop.
They dramatically.
Dramatic.
Because right now they're dropping, and it's not I'm telling you people, it's not a coincidence that the numbers of Black fathers in the home is increasing when the positive imagery of Black fathers and Black families is increasing. It's not a coincidence. It is happening because the visuals that you see on the day-to-day affect how you live life. And if you take it in, and most of these kids, they take that in. As you get older, you realize television is television. You realize social media is social media. You don't bank on it as much. But when you're a child, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Denzel Washington, these are like icons. See, these are like they're bigger than bigger than life to you. And sometimes even that uncle in the neighborhood, or your dad, or my dad was a superhero to me. Like, he could do no wrong, and then I got older, like, dang, he did a lot of wrong. Yeah. I love him. My dad gonna be listening to this. Dad, I didn't say that like that.
He didn't mean it like that.
I didn't say it like that. I just mean that you have a lens in which you look at life through.
Right.
And when you're a kid, that lens is not very skewed at all. It's very, I would say, it's not naive, but it's, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's not naive, but
you see it was painted for you.
Yeah, it's a very broad brush.
Yep.
And they don't see the faults within the stroke, right? And so it's even more so important than that what they see is positive, because they take it in as what it is. I mean, my kids, I have to explain to my daughter sometime in cartoon is a cartoon. Like, no, that's what they do on TV.
Yeah, like that's on TV. You can't do that.
But she takes that in. Like, that's how you do it. Like that's
what they're doing. So I must be able to do it. Yeah,
like no. And so because they're that gullible and open, you gotta make sure that they have something positive, something different to take in.
Exactly.
And that's just my purpose, the thing I'm on right now. I guess the wave that I'm riding is positive Black energy into the culture, because it's just like these kids need an alternative.
So we've had so much negative energy pumped into the culture for so long, and so many different stereotypes put a mask on top of it. It's like we have to be part of that new range that pumps that positive energy into the culture and is able to change the ideals of what we thought our culture was. We don't have to be what they said we were. We can change that narrative. We got to control it.
That's a mic drop. I'm done. That right there. That's just something that we can change. We have to be the change we want to see.
Exactly.
And the more we do that, the more opportunities we have, the better we'll be. So
there it is.
Yeah, guys. This is the Black Fatherhood Legacy. My name is Jay Cortez. This is Dwayne Wilson. Next time around, we will have our first guests on. Man. I'll check your post social media. We'll have who that guest is going to be, what we're going to be talking about. This is ongoing, people. These episodes are tuned. We here till
don't walk away from us now. You gotta make sure you keep your eyes and your ears.
All right, people. See you next time.
Have a good one.